Okay. Yeah, they have a whole thing of orders, so it's actually popular to pick them up here. And a whole line of cattle that's been slaughtered for these type of orders. And they've been doing it for a long time, killing cattle and eating burgers. And there's no one more bigger fan than that than Stephen Patrick Morrissey. He secretly eats meat, I heard. Big old meat eater. But when he sings about it, he sings that he's a big-time vegan. Which I don't believe a word that he says, really. Some of it's probably true. Probably drawing up the lawyer contracts right now. Now he's supposed to be a big vegetarian, big anti-cattle slaughter. But that's where they do it, right here. They bring in all the cows and just chop their heads off and just go to town. Spill their guts out and just start barbecuing. Sometimes right in this area. They'll kill the cow and just take a few moments and we'll get them turning that cow into a burger. Turn that cow and have them at Shake Shack. No time. But that's what they said. And really, to be honest, I have no idea why. I don't know why they would do that, but they do for some reason. For some reason at all, don't know why, but they slaughter the cattle and eat them. Some people say it makes you a little crazy. And then some people say it puts fear in you. When you eat animals, you get the fear. They call it the fear. So the more meat you eat, the more afraid you get. That's why police officers eat a lot of meat. They get real afraid. Turn them into vegetarians, they get calmer. Make decisions. This is Iron Horse Trail. Yeah, those vegetarians are mean. Let me see right here. Vegans and vegetarians. Cut all that red meat out. We're busy today, but I got my number 7. So we'll be getting some hot dogs. Alright, so I got 1 chicken stick and some gas. And it came out to $9.17. $2 for the chicken roller. And you're only getting 1. Now, does that sound right? I guess they just kind of stand in the road, do this. But it is good to get the leaves out of the way. It is good. You don't want the leaves to get in the way. You definitely do not want leaves to get in your way when you're driving. You don't want that to happen at all. So it's very important to get those leaves blown free and clear. Blown free and clear. We were talking about that James Cagney movie. Supposedly he jumps up on a reservoir or something like that, and they start shooting at him, and then it blows up because he didn't want them to get him. So they don't get him, you know, but he blows up. So he dies free and clear. Look at this van. Look at the timing on this right here. It's great. It just came out of nowhere. This road's rarely ever used for anything. This van happened to be there at that moment, at that particular moment, right then, you know. U.S. Oil, Fort Worth Terminal, James Cagney style. It's right there. It's called Three Amigos. Three Amigos. There's a squirrel. Now what you're going to see a lot of is McDonald's and Chipotle. They're actually competitors. And at one point in Chipotle's early career, McDonald's actually showed them interest. They almost became a McDonald's company, but I think Chipotle ended up branching off and becoming their own thing. But Chipotle is very popular, and so is McDonald's. McDonald's is of course, you know, if you're going to put stock in anything, you would want to put it into McDonald's for sure. So now when you make a comment or a concern on a McDonald's service, you go to mcdvoice.com, and apparently you just kind of talk in the app and it records everything and sends your comment through. You can also get buy one get one free quarter pounders with an egg McMuffin sandwich. See how easy that is? See how easy? Ain't that something?
system, different ways to do it. Everything to chemical balance. These chemicals on the track that will help balance it, and spray it clean and everything. And they have another type of balance which is where it levels it out physically. So it doesn't make those squeaky noises. That means that the shocks are actually not balanced correctly. So it'll make those, it should ride pretty smooth. So sleepy and creep. But it doesn't always. Now when they spray the stuff on the track, I don't know exactly how they do it, but it does something with the wheels. They clean the wheels and everything, and that can create problems with balance. And then they level the, you can see the shocks right there. But they have also a way of controlling the tracks as well as the actual trucks to the train. So it works together, the tracks and the trucks on the train. And those wheel trucks work together to create a perfect balance so the train can travel without any turbulence. Too close to the actual train because of the fact objects can fall off the train. Even sometimes wild animals will get on the train and fall off. So you have to be really careful what can fly off a train and get you. Most likely it's probably going to be something metal if you get too close. Now there is a guy named Shoestring, and he actually fell backwards getting out of one of these trains, and he got his hand cut through most of his hand, and his hand kind of looks like that. But he works on these trains, and he actually has taken residence on a lot of these trains for over 30 years. And he's a Vietnam vet. He's got a pretty interesting channel dealing with a lot of the issues right now, health issues. But he's been riding for over 30 years. He's a train rider, and he writes about it, and he has model trains where he studies every aspect of these trains. He probably knows more about the trains than some of the engineers. He's even been in some of the engineer cabins and stayed in what's called a hobo hotel, which is not one of these here. You don't ever want to get down in one of those. One guy that surfs these and gets inside of these things, and it's very dangerous. It's not a hotel or a hobo hotel. It's actually quite deadly. His name, don't remember it, but he surfs these things. This is a very slow moving train right now. So we're going to go ahead and take off. Follow these guys because we do not know. I'm actually going to take a peek before I do that, because you can get up here pretty close. Yep, that's the caboose right there. Luckily I didn't take off. But it's not the actual caboose, but it's the last train. It's a grainer. The grainer is the last one. That one is a pretty good riding vessel. The grainers you can ride. I'll show you where you would get in on the grainers. It's right at the front, right here. But it can be deadly. It's he risks his life every time he does it. But they're right in there, right there. A lot of times they can ride that. You can't even see them. So they can lay down right in the front part of it, right there. There's a bunch of them. These are the last part of the grainers right here. These are the ones that you would ride in, right in the front part right here. You can actually hear someone talking right there. But they'll lay down flat. Those you can't, though. There's not as flat, but you can see the front part of it right here. They can lay flat right in there. You can't even see them. They'll get them all the way to California. That's how Woody Guthrie traveled back in the day. He used it just like a subway. All right, we're good to go. It does have a train horn, so it says it doesn't, but it usually, they should sound the train horn anyway, but they don't always do it. But you can hear them. It's a very dangerous area right here for train riders because of the fact that they don't sound that train horn. It could kill people. They don't have to as long as they post a sign, so it's a really dangerous situation. They got bulls that will sometimes get them, so you got to be real careful. It could be deadly. Got a little bit of smoke dust blowing through, a little bit of construction site. I used to do construction cleanup for a lot of those guys. Really tough work. So they go in and do all the construction. We go in and do all the cleanup. Construction cleanup is a very difficult work. You got to wear a mask, all kinds of stuff. Get yourself some pull and save. Dos Amigos. Pull and save. We were going to make it. We were going to make it within 3 minutes. And you don't ever want to try to beat it. For one thing, it's an expensive ticket. And they usually don't have the bulls around here that try to do that, but sometimes they will. This guy's probably going to try it, though. No, he's gonna stay put. Well, someone might try it. You don't ever want to do it because sometimes, one thing, you get a ticket, you can't risk that, but it can kill you. So, we don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a ghost train. But they have a number you can report right here. It's 972-833-4301 for crossing. And you can hear the train whistle now. So we don't know the length of the train, but don't ever try to beat it. Don't get all Dukes of Hazzard. Because, like I said, it can kill you. There it is. It's a further one. It's a further track. There's a passenger, and then you got a cargo. There it goes. It's gonna let us through one section, but we're not home free yet. That's one thing about Fort Worth is it's big with the railroad. Probably bigger than Dallas. Fort Worth, all the hobos and all that, they all know about Fort Worth. And the bulls here are a little bit different than they are in Dallas. They're a little sneakier. So this is actually one of the main rails here that's gonna take a lot of cargo. Right through. We'll see if we can get a map.
Approaching a railroad crossing.
They might call it Northeast 23rd stop. They treat, a lot of hobos will treat it just like the subway. Now these are probably a little bit difficult because these are cattle cars. They sometimes will ride these, and you can see it goes on for a long time. They may have another name for it rather than I call them cattle cars, but they can usually kind of slip in through. Some of these have doors on the side. You can see there's cars in it right now rather than cattle, so they're actually automobiles. Rather, this is Canadian Pacific Railroad. Sometimes they'll have it's Uncle Pete, so it's Union Pacific or Union Pacific, but it goes down pretty far, not too bad. They're pulling cars mostly right now. The whole thing's a car, really. My grandfather said that these things mostly run on themselves, so the potential energy, or the what do you call it, the type of mechanical energy where the actual train is pushing itself. Once it gets going to a certain speed, it actually, the engine doesn't have to work as hard, so it'll pull itself for quite a bit of time. It doesn't stop on a dime, so it'll kill you. So you got to watch out if you're not careful. This is Uncle Pete right here. They call him Uncle Pete, as in Union Pacific. You can hear it's a little unbalanced, but they're carrying tons and tons of weight right there. Yeah, they're big fans of the show. Well, it looks like they pushed me in again. I got a message right there. Hang on for a second. Right into the stockyards. Right, we'll be passing the spaghetti warehouse in a second. We got to find one called Trail House Burgers. The last one was pretty smooth because it was a Shake Shack right on the edge. I don't know why they do it. I really wish they wouldn't, but they push you in here on the exchange on the stockyards to pick up these and drop them off at your doorstep, and they think it's real easy, but it's really not a good idea. But they do it, and I guess these restaurants pick up on their quotas and do way better than what they probably should, because they're getting extra orders out. They probably got extra meat too. All right, so here's a good shot of it right here. That's one side of the stockyards right there. But we're gonna see if we can maybe park right over here and walk it in. Nope, won't be able to do that either. You got two trucks here, but whether they're parked there or not, it's not a good idea to just park right there. Behind those are most like work trucks. So you want to kind of be invisible. That's the idea behind a lot of this. This is too far to walk it. So we'll do a pass by and see if we can locate Trail Burgers and see how we're gonna do this. Right here, River Ranch Stockyards right here. Believe me this, yeah, we got a stampede going down this way. Believe me this, I won't be playing live at the stockyards, and there's a reason for that. But I might be playing near there, but it won't be at the stockyards. I'll probably follow them in. That's probably a good idea. Probably follow this horse thing going on right here, or some people call it jack-in-the-box cattle. See this guy's going right here. See if he's gonna go anywhere. He's just kind of sitting there. They're eating up a lot of time. I have to let him go first. So what I gotta do is I gotta figure out first where the hamburger joint is, and then I gotta pick it up. I'm just gonna do like a side tracking shot. He's waving me through, but I got this guy right here, so I can't just go through that quick. And then we'll just get it right here. Welcome to the Please Subscribe Show.
we should be getting there pretty soon. I'm thinking it's probably going to be somewhere near the Biscuit Bar. I was at the Biscuit Bar the other day. If I can do a pass by, I might can just duck in there and run right in and grab it and run out. We'll have to see. This is what I look like sometimes when I'm working at these right around here. All right, Biscuit Bar. I'm just make a guess. They do have a sign where the Biscuit Bar is, or it'll locate, or at least name, I guess you could say, or signify every single restaurant. That one's Simplify right there. Then Biscuit Bar is right there, but something we're looking for. Second Rodeo is right around this way. Second Rodeo, and you get nothing but copyright. Biscuit Bars, we got to deal with copyright all day long. That's what happens when the hippies were real commercial. They were really into money. They seemed like they weren't. But what happened with the hippies is when they brought over that next generation after the boomers, after they die off, this whole copyright thing will be done with. But they're real into copyright. So we cannot have a Fleetwood Mac song or George Strait or any type of musician that may have made a Woodstock or whatever. I don't think George Strait was at Woodstock, but Fleetwood Mac might have been. I don't think they were there either. But any type of song or any type of rock band that is very commercial, it affects us in a very deep way. So we have to be very wary on where we are and what type of music is playing. Because of that generation, they're very commercial and into money, and they don't allow it. So we can't have their music, so we got to keep the windows rolled up. I don't see any of them right here on this type of. This is actually cruel to do to a delivery driver, but this right here is where it would be. Where this old guy is, the Tavern Music Hall. It would be somewhere. There it is. Nope, I don't see it. I don't even list it. He's taking one down and putting one up. So I don't know if it's going to be over there or over here. But we're going to have to find it. So. All right. So, Trailblazer Burgers is what they call it. And I don't know. I've never seen anything like it anywhere.